only on Bloomberg Quint.
Hello and welcome to Hot Money on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. This is the show which gives you a complete wrap of all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. I'm Darshan Mehta. Let's welcome our experts and technical analyst Fidai, Mehul Kothari from IndiaNivesh Securities, and Brijesh Bhatia of Dealmoney Securities join me on the show. Many thanks to all of my guests for joining me. Before we go on to the guest, let's go across to Yash Upadhyay, who has a chart on Balrampur Chini. Yash, good afternoon. What does the chart indicate?
Good afternoon, Darshan. So we've had a lot of positive news outflow for the sugar stocks, which has seen them rally quite a bit. Balrampur Chini, for one, went from the lows of 60 rupees just a year back to as high as 140, and with that, it seems that the rally has kind of fizzled out, because over the last 5 trading sessions, what we've seen is that 4 times of those 5 days, it has fallen. Today too, it is down in trade, and with that, what we are using as an indicator for this. The recommendation is the fact that the MACD indicator is suggesting a sell signal, because it has given a negative crossover, which is after a very long time that we've seen the indicator give a negative signal as far as Balrampur Chini goes. Okay, and what's the historical trend? Last time such a thing happened, or in the past, whenever this thing happened, what has been the average negative return? So Darshan, 7 out of the last 10 times that this has happened, so it's a 70% success ratio. The stock would have gone down by as much as 4.5% over the next 10 trading sessions. So it has moved quite significantly on the MACD. Okay, many thanks for that, Yash. NS, Balrampur Chini, one of the stars, at least for the past few months. It's rallied from, it's almost doubled when the market has not been doing well. Now, is it showing signs of reversal?
Yeah, it is showing some sign of tiring out, but seriously, as Yash has also pointed out, it is 4 to 5% move, not a seriously huge downside. So that would be a good buying opportunity. And one can look at buying around 118 also. It can do a little bit more also than 4 to 5%. But needs to break 128 first, because that is a very strong support for this stock.
Okay, break 128 and then buy at levels of 118. Mehul, what's your sense on Balrampur Chini?
Similar view. The chart is showing some exhaustions, but the stock can correct at least 10 to 12 rupees from here. Around 120 levels, there one can look for go long in this stock. Okay, Brijesh, similar views for you also?
Yeah, I would go long around 120 for 126, because if you look at the previous resistance, it was quite resisting around 120 to 23, and then it broke out to 140. So I think that might retest, and one can look for accumulation around 124, 125 levels.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on Balrampur Chini. If you want to short the counter, you can get, say, 5 to 7 to 10 rupees. That's the downside. But post that level, you should start accumulating Balrampur Chini. Let's start with the first round. NS Fidai has a sell call this time around, and it's on UPL. UPL has been one of the most outstanding counters. It's managed to rally when the Arista deal happened. This is where it happened, and the rally has been spectacular, trading at record highs. NS, you believe that the record high levels will be is the peak for the counter?
Rather, I would say it will act as a resistance, because earlier, it had come to this area of 902, and currently it has made some high around 907-8 approximately. So that area will act as a very strong resistance. Probably you can see, on the maximum on the upside, you can see that it is not able to cross that very strongly. The candles have become very small. Even the rally that has happened here is not so convincing. Around these areas, and if you see this, usually it's called a double top formation. So that is one thing. Can we have a daily chart? I will show there are more resistances here. See this, it is going up in a channel form. Okay, so the top of the channel is also, it is unable to cross, and it is making small dojis here. That shows there is a lots of weakness and doubt on this area. So the stock can see a dip probably to this area, which is probably 865, and above that maybe 885. That could be the support area for the stock. So right now there is a good trade opportunity here to go short. I'm not suggesting a short as a positional one which will go down very deeply. What I'm suggesting, it's a trade, a positional trade for a week or two probably.
It's a short-term trade that you're looking at. So short here, would you short at high levels, or
would you I would like to short it at around somewhere around 905, 912, and keep a stop loss at 917.
Okay.
On the downside, I look at a target of 880, 865.
Okay, so this is basically a short-term trade, but overall, if someone's taking a long-term position,
then he should buy on dips.
Okay.
Like
but the overall chart structure for the long-term is positive.
Yeah, overall it is very positive, but the area where it is right now, I wouldn't suggest somebody who wants to buy fresh should add right now.
Okay, thank you. So that's it. Thanks so much for that, NS. Mehul, UPL, what's your short-term and long-term view on both of the on the counter?
Yeah, for short term, the stock looks highly overbought. So even I would like to wait for a dip, and for a very short term, the risk reward is highly favorable for going short over here.
Okay.
The stop loss will be 920 on the upper side, and on the downside, the stock can retest 840 levels. There one can look for buying as an investor.
Okay, so similar kind of trends that have been that NS had talking about. Brijesh, what's your sense?
I have slightly a contra view. I think still a good upside momentum is left in this stock, and I think 967 is the levels where I'm looking on the stock.
Okay.
So at around 884, 888, I would look for a long with a stop loss of 877 for the target of 950.
Would you buy at this level, Brijesh?
Yeah.
Even at this level you would buy.
Yeah.
Okay, so contrarian views coming in on UPL, but remember the long-term trend seems to be on the positive side, but at least it's a short-term trade that's been spoken about. Now let's invite Mehul Kothari, who has a call on IndusInd Bank. I think several technical analysts we spoke to today have given, even on the FNO show when we spoke about it, they've given a buy on IndusInd Bank. It's been a spectacular rally over the past few days, but what makes you bullish?
See, this is a long-term chart of IndusInd Bank. This is monthly chart, and a long-term trend line over here is that the stock has taken support at this long-term trend line, and it has started moving upside. Now, can you switch the daily chart of IndusInd Bank?
Yeah.
So this is the daily chart of IndusInd Bank. We can see a clear-cut breakout over here. Although the stock has run up a lot, along with this breakout, we can see there's humongous volumes over here. So lots of participation and accumulation in this stock. If anyone wants to buy this stock, one can buy this stock on dips near 1560 levels for an upside target of 1660.
1660. It's already at 1605 somewhere. What should one do now?
One should wait for a dip. Not buy, because it has already run up almost 100 points in a 2 day.
Okay. What's the long-term trend looking like on this counter?
See,
what you said was 1660. It seems like a 40-50 rupee trade that you're looking at. It seems like an extremely short-term trade.
Yes.
But on a longer-term perspective, should someone accumulate, or will this rally fizzle out?
No, this rally won't fizzle out. On a longer term, it seems that the stock is poised to retest this 1800 to 750 levels from here on. Okay,
so it's a positive view that's coming in on IndusInd Bank. Thanks so much for that, Mehul. Brijesh, IndusInd Bank, are you also bullish?
Yeah, very much bullish, and probably I'm looking at targets for around 1760, 1780 on the upside. And as Mehul has clearly indicated, at 1560 turned out to be a very good entry levels. So one can buy part at current level, part at around 1560, 1570, and I think 1520 keep being a strong stop loss, and 1760, 1780 are the level upside I'm looking at.
Okay, and what about you, NS? Would you also be bullish?
Well, right now I would I see a very very extreme short term, you can say, trading opportunity on short side. Like you can go short around 1605 and 1607. Keep a stop loss at 1612, and you can recover again, like wherever, Mehul has said to buy again. So that would be a good opportunity to enter, and you can exit your shorts and maybe do double. So 1560 would be a very good area where you can cover your shorts, which you have done around at 1600 rupees. So it's quite a good 3-4% downside from here, and then maybe
these are spot levels or futures levels?
These are spot levels.
Okay, those are spot levels. So actually that's the view that's what we are getting in on IndusInd Bank. The trend that we are getting is that buy at lower levels. The overall trend seems to be on the bullish side. Levels of in excess of 1700, 1750 are something that is being spoken about. Let's move on to the third stock, and pretty much will be the stock of the day. Pretty much HDFC Bank, that is what Brijesh is saying. Stock at record highs. The last time the stock pretty much was at levels of over 2220 was back in July 2018. 18 July 2018 was when the high was there. Again, it's managed to breach that. Why are you bullish?
Yeah. So if you look at as you have spotted the highs, if I draw the trend line, we have seen a breakout at the yesterday's session.
Yeah.
Plus, if you look at the long consolidation from around November till March, okay, stock was trading in a narrow range of around 140 points. Okay, it has managed to surpass those levels. If you look at the 200 average, it has bounced from 200 average. Now the MACD is giving a positive crossover. Okay. Previously also when the MACD has given positive crossovers, we have seen a strong rally coming here. As well as if you look at the recent momentum over here, MACD has given a strong rally. Similarly, now MACD is giving a good positive momentum. RSI is breaking out of its previous resistance zone. So I think with the recent momentum, a stock is showing awesome volumes at the current levels. And above, if you look at the derivative structure, 2200 calls were aggressively done. The short covering is seen in today's rally. So I think one can go long at current level as well and buy on dips to around 2200. Now one can keep a stop loss of around 2160. The yesterday's below the yesterday's close, and look for the target of around 2300 in short term. And I think if one can want to look for a positional view, 2350, 2390 could be the higher levels on the upside.
Okay, just explain for our viewers what this MACD means. What is it? If you're saying it's a crossover, what is the implication? What do you mean by that?
Okay, so here the average crosses above. If you look at the green bars, the histograms are moving on the positive side. The average, which is the short term to signal lines, giving a positive crossover.
I'll see if we can zoom this out. Can we zoom this out? I'll tell my team to zoom that out. Yeah. Oh, that's not happening. Okay. Yeah.
So if you look at the histogram, it has now moved into the positive territory above the integer line. The average above the signal lines indicate that the stock is moving into the positive territory now.
Okay.
Plus, if you look at the price action is moving out of its range, around 140 points last 4-5 months range. So it's giving a strong handhold or support. The indicators are giving strong support to the price action now. So it clearly defines that the price are into the bullish zone, and one can look for.
Till what time would you? Till what price would you buy? You suggest to buy at this level also? Till what level should someone buy?
Can buy dip on around 2200 as well, or 2195, and I think the stop loss can be now upgrade to around 2160, 2165 on the upside. And one can look for a trading targets of around 2300, which is the 140 points. If I look at the channel, it was around 140 points, and if I add on the breakout level, which was around 2160, so it targets come to around 2300. But if I look at the recent momentum, targets come to around 2390 on the upside. So positional view, I think 2390 could be the achievable.
Okay, many thanks for that, Brijesh. NS, HDFC Bank single-handedly today has managed to recover or get the bank Nifty up to 170 points. Are you bullish?
I would be bullish, but I would prefer to buy on dips right now, because I don't prefer to buy a stock which is making or testing its lifetime high areas. That's where, like, I believe, like, people who have been waiting for such a long time, since last July it made a July it made a high, and it is coming back to that area again after almost 10 months. So there will be some selling pressure in that area. Probably the momentum is in the place right now, but still dips would be the best thing to do right now to buy in the stock also.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in. What about you, Mehul? What's your view?
Even I'm bullish on this stock, super bullish, but the only thing is breakout zone was 2170 level. One can buy the stock near to those levels, and I believe this stock could be a front runner for Bank Nifty also in the coming few weeks. So I expect this stock to retest 2300 to 2350 levels.
Okay, so before we move on to the next one, since HDFC Bank has a sizable weight on the Nifty, on the Bank Nifty, we'll ask our guest. So Brijesh, I'll start with you. Is it time to again start? Because what we've seen till now is that Axis and Kotak were driving the Nifty Bank. Now that HDFC was dormant and it's coming back now, is it still an indication that you should switch positions from the Axis and ICICI to something like an HDFC or an IndusInd?
I would prefer Axis can be shifted to HDFC, and still Kotak, I think the corporate actions are going on, stock is consolidating in the range. So definitely ICICI and HDFC Bank are the two, one can lead the rally from here on for Bank Nifty. So definitely a shift.
Mehul, you think that money can move into HDFC, I meant IndusInd, sorry. IndusInd has done well, so you think that money should be shifted? Or
money should be shifted in IndusInd Bank and HDFC Bank rather than Axis and ICICI. And one should avoid Kotak Bank.
Okay, what about you?
Well, I have a very different opinion. I would prefer to buy ICICI Bank.
Okay.
That and Axis Bank both look very good, but my favorite would be ICICI Bank. And on the upside, I see Bank Nifty has a resistance around 29,300 approximately. So that would be an area where, you may see some kind of profit booking in that. So one has to be careful if it goes up to that area.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. Let's move on to the second round. Fidai this time has a sell call on GSFC. This time, let's pull up the chart. Why are you negative?
Well, I have lots of reason to be negative. See this multiple touch points on this trend line. So it becomes a very strong, resistance area. Another one is the major top, and in the this area where it is trying to give a again acting as a resistance, which is coinciding also with your 200 DEMA. So there are three reasons where you get a short from a long-term perspective. In short-term perspective, if you look at it, this chart is this stock is running up in a channel. Again, that channel top is coming around that same area. So I would prefer to go short between this zone. My area of selling would be something like 107, 111 around that area, and keep a stop loss at 113 probably. And maybe on the downside, we see something like the targets could be 196 and even 86 on the downside. So multiple reasons and multiple resistance areas here. So that is a congestion of lots of resistances. So would request investors or traders who have already bought somewhere, they can book some profits here. And if it crosses 113.15, then probably it will become much bullish. But that will be right now it cannot happen straight away. Just imagine the stock has moved up from something like 87 to almost 100 and plus. So almost 20% rally is done. So there could be still you can see a little bit downside, and then probably it will go up. Retest of the area or something.
Okay, thanks so much for that, Dennis. Brijesh, 104, what should you do on GSFC?
I would agree with Fidai that one should look for a sell opportunity, because if it is resisting around 200 as average, even if you look at the previous, it is making lower highs. So definitely a short around 107, 108, keeping a strict stop loss of 113, and I think back to around 90 to 93 levels could be on cards. Okay, Mehul, your sense?
I have a bit different approach towards this stock, because in 2016 when the stock gave breakout above 90 levels, it went till 170 odd levels. It has retested those levels, and I can see a double bottom formation near 85, 86 levels. So as of now, near 95 or 92 levels, I would like to buy this stock with a stop loss of 85.
Okay, so contrarian views coming in on GSFC. That's the view that's coming in. The next stock we want to talk about is Vodafone Idea. Let's pull up the chart. Mehul, I believe you have a bullish view on the counter. So what makes you bullish?
Well, as you can see, the stock has been constantly falling, and right now the falling has been stopped. This is a long-term trend line of Idea. The stock has taken support at this long-term trend line. Along with this, this move from this to this high, the 161.8% retracement exactly comes over here. The stock has taken support over here, and now it has started forming a bottom formation. On top of this, if we see the derivatives data, one of the highest open interest has been seen in this stock since past almost 8 to 10 years. More than 20 crore open interest has been built up. So we expect this build up to be accumulation in this stock, and it can rally 10 to 15% from here.
Okay, 10 to 15%. Yeah. Would you buy at this level, or would you wait for it?
I would like to buy near 33 levels with a stop loss of 29, and the target would be 40 to 42 levels.
But what's the time frame in which you expect this to come in?
I expect the target to reach in this expiry, that is 1 to 3 weeks.
1 to 3 weeks. So you're seeing a big move that could come in Vodafone Idea. Okay, that's impressive. Thanks so much for that, Mehul. Ines, would you be as bullish as Mehul in Idea?
Yeah, there is a relief rally due actually in this stock. It has been falling from 120 and it has fallen 75%. And obviously there is some kind of reaction has to happen. And the stock shows some power here, like it shows it can go up to 37, 38, and it can go worse, maximum on the upside 44. So people can book profits around that if they have bought it at bottom, and people who are stuck in the stock, they will get an opportunity of exit around 200 DEMA.
Okay, Brijesh, what's your sense?
Yeah, I would go long, because if you look at the structure similar to Dish TV, if you look at the Dish TV, it has tested around 2008 lows, and we have seen stock rebound from around 2022 zone to around 40 levels. Idea is doing the similar structure. It has tested around 2008 lows and now showing a sign of reversal. I think good upside momentum can be seen around, I think 48, 49 could be the targets on the upside one can look at on Idea.
Okay, so extremely bullish calls coming in on Idea, probably one of the most bullish calls, at least as far as this show is concerned. So there's a potential 20, 25 or probably even 30% upside on Idea at this level. So the last stock that we want to talk about from our guest at least, and then I'll get Yash back on, and that is Shriram Transport. I haven't discussed this stock much, because it's been rather stagnant at that level. Bullish?
Very much bullish. Okay, so if you look at the stock, we have seen a fall, then a strong consolidation. Okay, so we just connect the trend line. We have seen a strong breakout coming over here. Okay, look at the rally, the post breakout, the weekly chart is showing a strong momentum. Okay, if I look at the RSI, it has been into the now bullish range shift, has been into the bullish zone now. Okay, similarly, MACD is giving positive crossover, and stock is moving, bouncing and consolidating around 200 weekly average. Okay, in past also we have seen that stock has consolidated around 200 weekly average, strong rally. Similarly here also, if you look at the 200 weekly average, it has consolidated on, and the strong rally is being seen. So I think similar structure history could repeat on the upside again for Shriram Transport. Even if you look at the daily charts, we'll move on to daily charts.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's here.
Yeah. So if you look at the daily chart, the strong trend line which we discussed in weekly, stock has now managed to move about close about 200 days average. Okay, strong retest, a doji follow-up continuation bullish momentum. So I think a strong upside momentum is there in Shriram Transport. Bottom has been made for the stock in the recent upside. So I think 1550 is the levels on the upside. I am targeting at around 20-25%.
What time would you buy? It's 1285.
One can look buy at current levels, part at around 1240, 1250, and keep a stop loss of around 1164, and 1550 is the upside I am looking at.
What's the time frame?
Probably 3 to 4 months on the.
Okay, so slightly longer term perspective on Shriram Transport. NS, what's your view on Shriram Transport?
In extreme short term, I see this stock is actually facing quite a resistance between 1270 and 1290. So that would be a good area to go short right now, and the band is between 1290 to 1340. You can go short and keep a stop loss around 1370, 65 somewhere. And right now I believe the stock, if it crosses 1300, maybe the upside is very limited, up to 1360 only. So keep a stop loss at 1365 and go short at this area, and have a provision to go short around 1350ish, and maybe cover up your positions around 1200 or 1180.
Okay. What's this and why? What makes you
see, what has happened is this stock has actually rallied from 1000 to 1300 in a very short span, maybe just in 20 days. Okay, and earlier also it has faced resistance in the same area exactly. So people who are stuck at that level, they would want to come out. Like people have that tendency of they get the principal back, they would be happy. That is what I'm seeing on this stock. And otherwise also it had given a major correction around 1350 when it fell very sharply from 1350 all the way up to 880 rupees. So this stock is more into consolidation, and there is lots of opportunity that one can trade here rather than just go long as a positional one right now.
Okay, Mehul, one long, one short, what sense are you getting?
Even I am bullish on this stock, but only concern is 1300 level. Since 1300 is a strong resistance, one can buy this stock on a dips near you can say 1200, 1220 levels. The stop loss will be 1150, and same target upside of 1450, 1500.
Okay, so 2:1 as far as the bullish call on Shriram Transport is concerned. And before we wrap the show, we have Yash Upadhyay who joins us back on the show, and this time, what's the stock that you want to talk about, Yash?
Which stock would you like me to talk about?
It's fine.
Just kidding. So I'm talking about Tech Mahindra over here, and it's your favorite indicator, but we're going with the trender indicator over here, and as you could see, it is within 1%, or actually from the time that I gave the chart and now it has actually come below the trend line. So the green line over here, that is the trend line. It's at the mark of 799. The stock is now at 795.8. Should it manage to close below 799.2 or where the trend line is, it means that the trender will flip its color from green to red, potentially meaning that there could be room for further downside from the current levels.
Okay, and if it has to close, it is already closed, it's below the 799, right? So on a closing basis, right, Yash?
That's right, on a closing basis.
Okay, and what's the success ratio for this?
So the trender has worked very well for Tech Mahindra, Darshan, because 5 out of the last 6 times that it has happened on the downside, you could look for returns of close to 6.5% over the next 1 month.
Okay, that's the view. Thank you so much for that, Yash. What about Tech Mahindra?
Yeah, I agree with Yash, absolutely. Like it has a possibilities to go up to 776 and 760 also.
Okay.
So absolutely agree. It looks like the stock is facing lots of resistance in this area, unable to cross 840, approximately 845. So yes, one can go short and keep a stop loss just around like 813 rupees and expect the target of 760 on the downside.
Okay, what about you, Mehul?
Even I am bearish on this stock. Majority of the IT stocks like Infi, TCS, Wipro has started correcting. Only this was left, Tech Mahindra was left. So I would like to go short in this stock with a target of 730 to 740 on the downside.
Okay, what about you, Brijesh?
I have a contra view because if you look at the gap, it has been strongly outperforming, and if you look at the gap of around 760, 780, that might retest and stock might resume its upward journey. So I think 780, 775 could be a good buying zone for me, keeping a strict stop loss of 750 on the downside and target of around 850, 870 on the upside.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in on the final stock. And before we end, let's ask our guest what's the view on the Nifty, because the Nifty is rallied. NS, you had said that last time you would face resistance at 11,300 level.
Yeah.
You hold that view?
Yeah, I still hold that view.
So would you short now?
No, I wouldn't go short, but I would wait for probably some few days to buy on dips rather right now. And I expect once we have a crossover above 11,400, then we'll see maybe 11,800 also and 12,200 also.
Okay, what about you, Mehul?
Even we expect some kind of exhaustion in Nifty, and on the upside we expect market to go towards 11,500, 600 levels. But as of now, we have started booking leverage positions of our clients.
Okay, what about you?
For this momentum, I think 11,390, 400 could be on cards, but overall a buy on dip strategy could be seen. Around 240 could be a good accumulation level.
Okay, so that's the view on the Nifty, but with that, we're completely timed out on this edition of Hot Money. Many thanks to all of my guests. NS, thank you for coming in. Mehul, Brijesh, thank you so much for coming in. Ask BQ comes up next. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.